Should be streaming. This is not what I want to be showing. This is what I want to be showing. Oh, this will take a while to get used to. Ooh, even the other windows are transparent. Oh. Oh, this looks bizarre. Oh, when I'm... okay. Window is transparent when I'm moving, so... when I'm not moving it, it's not transparent. Can you actually read what's being shown? Oh, you can. Is this something I want to be showing? Probably not, because it's someone's actual configuration I was taking a look at, since they had an issue. Right. Yeah, the chat is in a different place. Okay, time to test the chat. Test. Okay, it shows up, works. Amazing. Guess I can have the chat. Well, I have the main chat here. Yeah, the layout changed drastically, not just on stream, but in my setup as well. Like, the chat is much more closer now. It's right next to my... basically, you can see how far off it is. So when I'm selecting, I'm still... well, they are slightly misaligned, but... that shouldn't be a big issue. Should be fine. Alright. What, am I hearing things? Is this in the song? The song has the same ding in it. Very similar ding to when I get a message on Twitch. Which is kind of funny. Right. This looks good. I think it looks good. I think everything is aligned. Okay. Okay. So, first of all, instructions, announcements. So I did a poll yesterday. Ooh. Did this? I think it's just the player stuttered. Yeah, it doesn't look like a stream went offline. Okay, so I guess who knows what was that about? Right, so yesterday I did a poll, see if users are really care about having another way to extend their bots, even though it's it would be for a shorter period of time. Seems like majority want it, and there is a minority that do not want this feature for some reason. I guess the I guess the minority feel like this is leading into something else, which they're not completely wrong about it, if that's the case, because it's definitely leading into something. Yo, welcome back. New and fresh look of my stream. How do you like it? I think I actually love it, but now when it's set up, I love it. I like the borders. I like that the borders are like thin, sharp. Like, it looks good. I even, well, since I haven't actually done any programming, I'm even okay with sacrificing like 60% of my, no, 30% of my work area, usable work area. Super cool, yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. I'm not sure about the readability. I feel like I could tweak a little bit, because all of the letters have a gray shadow, which I'm not sure if it's comfortable to read when the background is not actually gray. But I don't want to mess with it too much. I think I'll keep it for now. You think it's quite good? Well, I think no one is actually reading the code, so I think it's fine. It's just here for the looks. I think the funny thing would be having something interesting going on in the background and program like so the main attraction of the stream being the background, something that's being played in the background or something happening in the background. and then coding being like in front, but it's a secondary aspect of the stream. For those who are actually interested in the code or want to read a snippet or something. Gray on gray is better than gray on dark blue? Yeah, well, just because of the shadows around the letters. I think that's the main reason. If there were no shadows, or if the shadows were in different tone, closer to blue, I think it would be okay. Maybe the starlight could be gray, like the background of the image. Maybe that would, but you know, these are all things that can be improved in the future. We can stay with this for a while and see how that looks. If we get any feedback. Right. But there are things I wanna change quite soon. Oh, I wanna show something off. So I wanna show something off. Chat looks super readable. The chat, yes. Well, that's the point. Where's my chat? There's Mr. Jacquin Hoffman. Sounds French to me. And it's gone. Right. Yeah, so a couple of things. How can I do this now? Yeah, actually, I can't. Yeah, the mouse is actually, I can't show it with the mouse. Oh yeah, let's show off what I made. I made a change, a slight modification. This. I wanna see your reaction to this. Do you think it's funny? I think it's funny. It might be not the most readable thing. Could be. It could be funny. Not sure. I could have a different one set up. How we remove? Oh, they are not hidden. They are just, well, they are not removed. They are just hidden behind the whatever your thing is. So there are things I can click off, right, just off stream, of the visible area. For example, the console thing is just outside the visible area. The package explorer, like things at the periphery. I don't think you can see the information at the bottom. You can't see the menus. Well, you can't see the title screen. It kind of works out pretty well if I have something like a browser open. Then you can't really see the tabs I have open, but you can see the main area quite well. It's cool to have it. Oh, the bad ideas box? Yeah. But, okay. So a couple of things, if I may ask you to change, would be really appreciated. First of all, I want you to have a watermark. I want to credit you for doing this, because this is really cool. It looks really nice, and I think if people it's a good thing not to have tabs with privacy. Well, this is not my browser I use. Like this browser is not used for anything else. That's why I was surprised that it was even logged in some platforms. Because I usually use, for my daily use, I use Firefox, and Chromium is something I just had on a side for things that require an alternative browser. So if something doesn't work in Firefox, I can try in some other browser. So this is like a backup browser that I use. That's why I didn't even bother setting up the incognito mode, which streamers usually do. I should log off. Well, I'll do. Okay, I should probably have a task somewhere to log off different platforms on Chromium. because that definitely could be an issue. Because leaking my emails, that was kinda not optimal. Let's see, stream notes. Connect stream, log off, different platforms on, what's its name, Chromium. Right. Yeah. So first of all, I want you to add a watermark somewhere. It looks 200% better than before. I think it looks even more than 200% better. I especially like that some of the things, because the background doesn't come from the Eclipse itself. I tried to change Eclipse settings, and it doesn't let me change any colors, pretty much. I change the color, I can see it affect whatever I'm changing. For example, you can't really see the what's actually written here. It just seems like there are way too many spaces than there should be. Actually, you can kind of read it, but when it's not selected, you can't really tell that this is an equal sign. It has an equal sign, it has underscores, like small details like that kind of disappear because of the see-through background, but nobody cares about that. I might care, but I don't think viewers will care about that. Like, who reads my configuration file settings? But yeah, like great text. I would like to get rid of it, but so what's actually cool is, for example, if I have, where is it, my SQL open. Let's look at something I'm okay with sharing. Right. So if I have something like this, you see, it's also transparent, and it has all the database records. Hopefully that's visible. Yeah, you can see that. So I like that it doesn't, it works not just with Eclipse, it works with other applications as well, because the background comes from the general theme of the whole OS, which is cool. Watermark, so people won't steal it. It has every time written on it, so I don't think they will be able to copy it. Right, I'm not worried about copying. I want the watermark to say made by RiskXY or by RiskXY. I want to credit you, so it would be visible because you're the one who made it. It's not my work, it's your work. I'm just using it. Yeah, so it is themed. So some things have that, some things don't. For example, this does. Like, you can't really tell. Like, it has like the windows disappear. Like the what's its name? Oh, actually I can show off things here. So let's enable this. Yeah, oh yeah. So okay, it all works. Right. So I want a watermark, maybe somewhere around here in the corner. Can you actually see that? Might be off stream. Yeah, so somewhere maybe around here. It could say by so on. So like a signature, you know. Or maybe even here. I'm not sure. It's okay, you can write in description credits layout made by RiskX. Okay, well, if you insist, if you don't really want to put anything on this, like something in white or like somewhat visible. Right. So, yeah, this is a little bit trippy. I was playing around with this yesterday, like, this is kind of funny. Like, oh, let's make it like this. So we can make the mouse cursor dance somewhat. Because there is this, well, a little bit of delay between each capture. But yeah, so other thing I want to ask, maybe we could change colors of this. Like, it looks good. It's not about the looks. It's about, I would like to have 3 colors being like yellow at the top, green in the middle, and red at the bottom. Like it corresponds to a Lithuanian flag because I kind of had it as an kind of an Easter egg on my background. So if I move everything away, you'll be able to see that. Oh, actually, you can't see it because it's off screen now. But basically, at my background in the corner, there used to be a Lithuanian, well, shape of Lithuania in Lithuanian colors. So I'd like to keep that somewhere. I was thinking about making like my icon have the colors maybe at the middle, but maybe I could make it wavy, so it kind of looks like a flag. Because well, I don't want to be seen as someone who's hiding that I'm Lithuanian. Especially since don't want to say I'm proud, but I want to show it off, if possible. I think that would be subtle enough. What do you think about that? Could that be done? When this progress is like when you need some follower box, later follower box and subscriber, then I will include my name in small letters and some kind. Okay, well, okay, that sounds good. What about the letters? Not the letters. The flag, the colors. Can those wavy colors be changed? Or you selected them specifically to be these colors because it matches the theme of the borders? I'm not sure. Well, I guess I can show off what I mean. Like Lithuania's flag is not that like, it doesn't look in. The colors are quite harsh. Let's see. Yeah, so basically this is the color. These are the colors in this order. So something like that on its side. That would be really cool. I would love that. Yeah, we picked from the border, okay. I don't think it would be too out of place. Like it doesn't, like if you take a look at it now, like this doesn't really match the border right it's next to, like it matches the other side a little bit more. So I think it wouldn't be a drastic change to change like to something, well, some different colors like these. But these are very harsh. I don't want to be like 100% accurate that this color has to be exactly this, yellow has to be exactly this yellow. It can have gradients and so on, so like much like this. But the primary colors, like the dominant color, should be resembling the flag. So basically, if you know what you're looking at, you should I want it to be recognizable. If you know what you're looking at. If you don't know, I want it to be just look nice. Because majority of the viewers will not know what it is, but the rare viewer that comes here, who is Lithuanian, because I even have some followers who are Lithuanian, I want them to notice that. So it would be like an Easter egg for other Lithuanians or people who know, for some reason know how Lithuanian flag looks like, something like that. So if that can be done, that would be really cool. And I'm not sure about the last one. I think it's kind of funny, but maybe it was on purpose. So there is one more thing. I think well, I'll let you decide if you want to change this or not. I'm kind of okay with this, but my name isn't actually every TM. That's a typo there. But I feel like it could be funny to have my name type with a typo in my stream, on my stream. So I can say, oh, this is not my chat, it's someone else's chat, if something bad is happening there. Like I can, like if you pay attention, this is not actually every time, it's every TM. So I'm not sure, I think it's funny that it's that there is a typo there, I'm not sure if you think it's funny. If you don't think it's funny and I knew something's not going well. No, it's going great. Like if you, I would say. Let's see, how does this look? Oh, the background. So instead of flashbang, you get a window with the background. And actually, what? The backgrounds combine. Because this is not the image I'm looking at. Yeah, this is different. Because I'm seeing a different image. Well, you see a combination of those images. And it seems like there are weird artifacts. Yeah, if you really look really... Oh yeah, Google is barely legible. I'm not sure, because Google is white. And they mapped gray. Maybe the gray is... But that gray isn't really close to white. I don't really care for Google, so... I think it's gonna be fine. Oh, the white box is transparent as well. I feel like I messed something up. Can we do a thing where every time chat is the heading and the subheading is box of bad ideas? Well, as long as it doesn't take up more space than it does now. I think it's at the limit how big I want to make it. Like, it is kind of thick. You could definitely fit in 2 lines if you really wanted to. Maybe make them a little bit smaller. I'm not sure, maybe... Well, I leave it up to you. Bad ideas box is just... I like the jankiness of having it like this, where I can just turn it on and off, and it's an overlay, and it's obviously done by someone... Well, AK box of bad ideas. No, just leave every time chat, and I will do janky stuff like that on top of it, just to indicate that it wasn't really. It was an afterthought. It should look like an afterthought. I think it is funnier if it is an afterthought. It means it obviously looks like it's been done by someone, some amateur, like myself. And yeah, oh, that's not what I meant to do. Right, enable action. Yeah, that's what I've been playing quite a bit recently. That's the game I'm playing. Well, my go-to game now, but whatever. So I wanted to look amateurish. The additions like these. I kind of like being able to add this. Unless you think it is bad. It's objectively bad idea, it looks bad, or anything. Maybe I could change colors into something else. Maybe not red. But red kind of works. Red, plain, solid, bare red works for like just to showcase how much of a janky like what's the name of I'm thinking a name. There is a term for this. Jerry-rig, I think. I'm thinking about how jerry-rigged it is. Oh, I think the window is too long. Yeah, you definitely can't see what I'm looking at. Yeah, it should be like this. Yes. Second, adjust all the window sizes. Okay. I don't think people on Twitch get offended so easily. Yeah, I know. It's not about being offensive. It's not funny. I think this is funnier. I'm not worried about offending people. The only person I'm worried about offending is you, because this is your work, and like I'm taking it and doing weird things with it. Well, it could be considered weird things in certain situations, I guess. But I think it's funnier this way, when it's done like amateurishly, on top of it, obviously. Sloppishly by an amateur, like that. I think that's funnier. Right. Oh, water. That might have sounded very crisp again, but I'm almost out of water. I slept like crap today, by the way. I slept for like 5 hours max. YouTube is doing well today. The lag is quite reduced as compared to later. I think it degrades over time. Maybe because there are no viewers, then YouTube detects that automatically, and then the rendering gets pushed back in like to the back of the queue. That might be the case. Like that would be a very Google thing to do, employing AI and algorithms everywhere for optimization purposes. The whole point of me making it simple was so you can add things like this. Yeah, I agree, and I think it's funnier. That's the point. It is funnier this way. If you don't agree, tell me, but I think it's funnier. Why is the song so... I hate... Oh, I don't like that the songs... Why is there are so many vocals? That's why I did no banners, followers thing, etc. and etc. Yeah, I get that. Also, it doesn't make sense. Well, yesterday's stream was exceptional because I got 2 followers, which was my... I don't think I've gotten more followers in one stream than yesterday. So, yeah, that's good. I'm not complaining by any means. I guess the music is barely audible to you, so you probably won't. It seems like I'm complaining about something insignificant, but it's significantly louder in my ears. That helps. Right. So I just turned down volume on my headset. Okay. So people voted that they are okay with the feature of having... So if I edit the configuration, it needs to be extended for 2... Well, not extended, its expiration should be set to 2 days away. Let's see. So somewhere around here. I think this is where I set the date time. I'll be here all stream today. I have to make a practical netbook, which has a physics practical written. Well, notebook. Has all physics practical written. Huh. That sounds like a lot of work. Well, there is no rush to do the changes that I asked for. Like, I'm in no rush. As well, I won't be streaming tomorrow for sure. I'll be back on Sunday. Because yeah, it's time to do some resting and medicating. Because yeah, today is not a good sleep day. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I just know from experience that this doesn't fix itself if I don't do anything about it. Right. But for now, time to take a break. Yeah, it's kind of. I enjoy streaming, kind of. It's weird. Like I'm actually surprised how much I enjoy it. Just talking, without talking to myself, pretty much. Well, not myself. I'm talking to people, but it's such an odd thing. I think of Twitch like like Twitch is like a zoo. And like viewers are just like visiting a zoo and like going from one window to another and like seeing what's what's on display. Like, and I understand that not everyone wants to play with the monkey in the in the zoo, but some people do, and some people are just okay watching other people play with the monkey or just watching the monkey what they do naturally. So I find a lot of similarities to Twitch and Zoo. For some reason. I'm not sure. Maybe I see myself as a monkey? Like, I'm not sure. That analogy seems to have way too many similarities. Not to be accurate. But yeah, this is looking really good. I love it. Okay. Let's try doing some work. Where do I actually set this? I committed what? I committed this code yesterday. Why is it not showing as, I think? Mess something up. Oh yeah, I changed the... And big difference set as baseline. So it should clear... Oh yeah, translations are not... Oh, the translations will be fun. I did a totally different thing before making this. Totally different thing? Not really sure what you mean. This is not descriptive enough. My attention span or memory, short-term memory doesn't hold enough items. But it was a premium image, so I had to change it. But the newer one turned better. Okay. So I assume you're talking about the background image. That's fine. Well, it's your template. Well, I will try anything you produce. And changing it out should be quite easy. I could do it on the fly, I think. Oh, I guess we'll figure it out. We'll see. It's not here. Oh yeah, that... Should I do this? When I save, I think that should be the place where I do this. Test, save. So here. Yeah, it's super easy. Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, it's I'm not saying it could be hard. It's not about being hard. It's about me knowing how to do that. That's the main issue. It's not about it being easy or hard. It's about me being able to actually do that. I have made the template, so now you can change the parts and add parts to your needs. Okay, if that can be done. How do I convert the template into MP4 though? That's the question. Because I kind of need it to be in that format now, because I know how to use it already. Well, if it were in a different format, I probably would have to figure it out how to use it off stream. Because otherwise, I feel like it's a little bit too painful to be watching someone fumble around, especially when you know how to use the tool a lot better. Maybe that's part of my brand, because I do that a lot. I definitely do have to Google quite a lot of things. Right. So how can I actually do that? Saving. When I save. Right. Save new killbot. So when I'm saving new, it doesn't to do anything else. So when I'm updating, I need to do a check. Update Lithuanian date, expiration date. Right, bot. 19 subs on YouTube too, yeah. Well, YouTube, it's a little bit different. I used to make, well, at least I attempted to make videos, so some of those are from then. so I don't really count them. But I got a few new ones. But yeah, YouTube is just like an afterthought. Well, it's more of a to keep the record of the streams I do. Since Google is making money hand over fist with YouTube, they don't really care about wasting storage to store like all long streams. Like they don't care that I want to store so many hours of footage that no one actually watches. So if they're okay with providing service like that, I'm okay with using it and pushing it to its limits. I'm sure I'll get an email from Google eventually saying, we noticed you use so and so terabytes of storage, so do something about it, or we will do something about it. That's the kind of email I expect eventually. Hopefully not soon. Well, hopefully by that time I will know if it's actually if there is a use for all that footage. Right. Bot update expiration date. Yeah, it would be a huge job. I guess like it could be a project. Yeah, it would be a huge project watching through all of my streams when I code this bot and maybe make a compilation of, I'm not sure, me saying dumb is extra stupid. That could be a compilation, because I've been doing some dumb things along the way quite often and eventually realizing them. I'm sure there are plenty of things I haven't realized yet, how stupid they are, but there are plenty of things that I realized eventually. Right. So when I update expiration bot is of type classes bot. So bot expiration date, pretty sure that's text. Right, text. So now, how do I do this when I save it? Oh, helper class is a mess. Helper is like a dump of anything I don't really care about. Like this is an absolute mess. Let's see, where do I actually add the date? So this is connect, get user. Actually, I should look at the outline. Make it easier. Save new killbot, update killbot. I think when I save it, yeah, this is where I actually, this is how I get to the date. And do I actually save it when I update the configuration? I don't think I do. Oh, that might be an issue. Outline of the wrong file. So when I update, do I actually set expiration date? I don't. Yeah, well, I guess there are a couple of things I need to work on. Make this work. Right. Okay, so this is how I do date time things. Time delta, trial days. So let's say, do I want to add another variable? It'd be configurable. This is a tough one. I definitely want to have trial days by different bot, but I guess that should be in the database, much like types of bots. Oh, and that's a food for future features. Days, let's say 2 for now. Daytime, let's import it. Should be it. So I get a new date that can be assigned. How does it look when I read it? Another question. I load, save. get user bots. I think this is where I actually use the date. Yeah, expiration date. Oh, it comes out of the database as a string. Does it? So these are fields. I use these. So I just add them to fields, the list. Oh, this constructs the whole menu context. Okay. Oh, so these are the fields for menu item. So the bot never actually, so this expiration date is never used? That's what it means? Shift G. It's used. So this is the definition, new killbot menu. So if check if it's not none. This is where what I just, oh no, this is, wait, it is datetime object. Time delta. So now returns datetime object. Yeah. So it's not a string at all, it's a datetime. What's the actual time? Date time? Not date. Because this is, oh, from datetime import datetime. Okay, so this is, I imagine this is the name of the class. Yeah. Why the, like, even in standard library, like there's inconsistencies like that, which I don't really like. Like, why do you have class names not starting with a capital letter? Like, who does it help? Like, you have a package name that's the same as the class name. Like datetime is confusing as it is. It's painful to use as it is, painful to operate with as it is, and now we leave landmines like, well, it's not a landmine, it's just a snag like this for clueless people like me to get snagged by. Yeah, that's very confusing because now I have the same thing imported from the same thing. Like this is not a package. Well, this is what? This is, yeah, my brain is not working. Yeah, lack of sleep is really, it's not that bad. It's, yeah, it's a package. This is a module. And this is a module and this is a class. Like packages and modules, yeah, they should be all lowercase. Whatever. Buffering. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I don't think, yeah, it can be helped. At least as far as I know. Maybe if my account had a premium on YouTube, maybe that would help. Because I have premium on my main account that I like, it's my private account, let's say, that doesn't post anything. I just use it for viewing, which has all of my subscribers and so on. I mean, every TM buffering. Oh, I am buffering, yeah. And it's not really like, yeah, it will be buffer heavy. It's not every TM. How? It's every time. Oh, YouTube never buffers. It's always switch. Okay, okay. That's good. That's really good. I guess as long as someone is watching on YouTube, YouTube makes extra effort to make the stream smooth. I'm watching it in the same quality 1080p. Yeah, that's good. That's the source. So it should be, well, it can't get better than that. Maybe I could do it. 4K would be an overkill. Yeah, I could do it in 4K, like scale everything up. But then it would be just, yeah, it would be really usable from my perspective. And from the streamer's point of view, it wouldn't look all that different. Well, that's not important. Let's get back to this. Valid till now 2 days. No one will make use of it. Well, eventually they will. 4K is a thing. 4K is a very popular thing as well, especially among professionals. Like 4K is like I wouldn't go back to 1080p monitor. Like if I had to, like I would protest. Like you would have to give me a really good reason to go back to using 1080p monitors. Like 4K is just so much superior. Like it's different experience, especially for a professional. Now that I'm, well, okay, let's do a thing. I will make a screenshot. I don't think there is anything sensitive you can see. I'll just showcase how my desktop actually looks like. So this is my desktop. So this is my whole desktop. And to give you a perspective of how much the actual work area takes up. So this is like how small of a space I actually use compared to what I have. Like this is just dead space. I don't even have anything to put there. I guess I can put the viewer stats. But yeah, and this is like OBS. Well, this is a second monitor, 1080p monitor on its side. So it gives like a little bit more area to work with. So this is the 4K part, and this is, yeah, like an add-on, like from laying around like this. If I had to use only this, it would be painful. I'm fully okay with using just that, but since I started streaming, I just wanted to add. I had two monitors. After using the MacBook display, suddenly they look so bad in terms of pixel density. And color quality. Yeah, the one thing that MacBooks have is Retina displays. Those displays really look nice. Well, Apple knows what actually counts to the user, so they can charge. Their hardware could be crap. Their design could be, well, internal design could be crap. Maintainability crap. Serviceability. Basically a bunch of things could be crap that are technically important, but where it counts to the user, they definitely put an extra effort, and display is one of them. And their displays actually are really good. I can't really say anything bad about them. But yeah, this is like, how can you live with like with this when you, yeah, there's no contest. Like the color quality doesn't really matter to me all that. Well, the quality of the color quality is pretty good on this display because it is an IPS display, and IPS isn't. Its fame to claim is that it is color accurate, and it has good viewing angles, so the colors don't shift, brightness doesn't change. Like it is a good quality display, and like. Pixel density is like the same as 1080p, but since I don't really watch anything, like I don't really have a need for high resolutions, like I'm fine with this pixel density. And 42 inches, 4K over 42 inches, like pixel density is not too bad. Like Retina is obviously way better, but I don't think it's that much better. Well, I haven't really had a chance to compare side by side. I imagine, yeah, the difference is significant. but this is good enough. I would rather have a larger area to work with than have a sharper letters. Right. Valid till on this. Actually, I should first of all check if do you see the recent PewDiePie video where he shows his setup? So clean and tidy, it's a small video. I haven't watched any of PewDiePie videos recently. You know what I've been watching? I've been watching programming streams, not streams, programming videos. I've started watching, like I've never watched them, because it feels like it was work, but now I'm doing it, like streaming brought a different perspective to programming, so it kind of refreshed my passion for programming. So I kind of want to learn new things. I'm interested in them, and so I started watching a lot of content about programming. And yeah, something had to fall by the wayside, and PewDiePie was one of those things, sadly. But yeah, I'll take a look at his. But I've seen his setup. It's not the first time he shows it off, unless he changed something. It is a tidy setup, and my setup, yeah, it's nowhere near this tidy. It looks like a battle station, pretty much. It has crap all over the place. I have a little zones where I have some space to put stuff, if I have to, if I need to. But otherwise, like there's my wallet, there's my keys, some random things, pens. There's a notebook for taking my plans. There's some 2 cups for some reason, toothpicks, like random crap. It looks like it's not completely a mess, but yeah, it's not tidy. I wouldn't call it tidy by any means, and I kind of like it. I have stuff that I might need occasionally within my reach, and I have space if I need it. So you know, I feel like it's a nice balance. Let's see, valid till plus invalid till. Yeah, that's what I want. You need to describe how your room look, so I can design a starting soon video for the stream. How my room looks? Well, the background of me, let's say if I get a webcam eventually, the background would be just a it's basically a very pastel yellow wall with nothing on it. Like that's the way. Like I sit with my back to the wall pretty much, and the whole room is. I don't really like the setups where your PC is at the wall, so I have it turned the other way around. My back is to the wall, and the whole room, I can see my whole room in my periphery, and I know I'm not sure. I just got into a habit of setting up my computer like that, and I like it. And whenever I get a chance, I do that like that. Even in the office, when I need to pick a spot where to sit, like I prefer this spot, that type of spot, because if you sit with your back to the wall, like you're not missing anything. Like if something happens, like it's not happening behind you, it's happening in front of you. So there's less chance of missing something interesting happening. Something like that. Like at least in my experience, like that's it works pretty well. So yeah, my background is very boring. Well, there is a window close by, so I would show a photo, but it's kind of a mess now, so I don't want to. It's too much of a mess. Like I have a window, so there is a large window on one wall. So basically I sit in the corner. So let's see, let's do some ASCII art. Oh, that's probably maybe not ASCII art. do some drawing. My GIMP. Starting to learn GIMP. GIMP is a cool tool. Let's see. Sure, why not? Ooh, that's a flashbang. Change the color into something more useful. That's bright. Yes. Okay. Brown. Right, so if we imagine, okay, let's take a paintbrush. Oh yeah, should switch colors. Maybe pick something close to my walls. Is something like that. Yeah, that looks somewhat like the color of my wall. Right, so if I do this, so imagine there's the corner of the room. Well, the room itself is not that, well, it's kind of big, but goes something like this. Has like a partition here, goes here, and here. Have small area like this, the entrance, something like that. So this is basically out of my flat or something. Well, this is, and then it goes on. So this is the part, the main area, the main room, the office. So this is where I do my thing. And my setup is kind of like this. So there's a table here. And my monitor, maybe I should change colors. Maybe that would make more sense. Thieves be screenshotting. Well, thieves should get, would have to go through quite a substantial door. And they would need to know my address for the... And yeah, I live in the middle of a town. Like, if someone started breaking into my apartment, like, people will see that. I'm not living in like some remote area. Like, it is a small town, but it's still middle of that town. So I'm not too worried about someone breaking in. Let's pick another color. Table should be brown, but I already used brown for the background, so let's not reuse that. Kind of blue? Whatever. Okay, that's a little bit too far. So yeah, this is the table. Let's imagine this is the table I'm sitting at. So the display itself, let's get blue. So the displays are set up like this. There's one display and there's another display. So these are displays, and can I draw a shape? I do draw shapes. It's a good question. Maybe somewhere around here. Pencil, airbrush, paintbrush. Yeah, this is what I was talking to my friend that alternative tools are cool, but their only issue is that they are not Photoshop, they are not from Adobe Suite. Actually, I can see everything, that's good. And they do stuff differently. And if you don't know them, yeah, it is a little bit of a pain. So I don't know how to draw a circle in this. Oh, pencil? Oh. Should be, I imagine it should be draw a shape, but mode. Behind, color erase. Maybe somewhere in here. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just freehand it. So this is my chair. Okay, let's change color again. My chair is actually black. So this is my chair. sit around here somewhere. And yeah, and the windows are here. So Windows starts here. There's a small partition. Then the window goes here up to here, more or less. Right, so this is my setup. And this is south is that way. South. So that way is east. If that helps. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Probably not. But yeah, my windows are facing south. So I get a lot of sun. Yeah, and I have green, like light green. It's not curtains, it's roulettes, I think. That's what they're called. Basically, you can pull them up and down, and it rolls into a cylinder at the top. Right, so this is the best description I can come up with. And the walls are just plain yellow pastel walls, like very calming colors. Yeah, not much else. So if you wanna try to design something in that, I have a couch, a very interesting couch. Where do I sit? This is where I sit. This is I can do it like this. Do it like this. Doesn't look like R. So this is where I sit, and these are color. Okay, let's make it thinner. Monitor. Okay, that doesn't not working out. Monitors. Yeah, like this. So this is where I sit, this is my chair, this is my table, and this is the basic layout. So basically, if I had a webcam, it would be attached somewhere around here, I imagine. Probably maybe even to the side. I'm not sure which would look right, because I'm looking straight at this, like that. So if I were to put it to the side, you would kind of see my profile. If I put it at the top, you're looking quite substantially, your vantage point is like substantially higher than my head. So you're looking at the top of my head pretty much. And below you're looking at my nose, because of how big the monitor is, this one. Yeah, it's not really the correct scale. I think it's let's see. Should be something like this actually. This, and then I have a little bit of this. And so yeah, this little attachment is my 1080p monitor, and this is 4K monitor. So these are much more to scale. Like this is 1/5, maybe quarter of the length, because it's on the side. So it looks like I have a TV. I sit in front of a TV with a normal monitor on its side attached to it. So you either look from me from this side or this side. Oh, so yeah, and the background, vertical? Yeah, this is vertical. It's in portrait mode. Otherwise it would look weird. You have to have an 1080p monitor vertical, just because... oh, I closed the screenshot I made. I think I can still dig it out. The pictures, that's where it saves it. Image done today, should be it. Yeah, so to have your display, like your desktop, to be extended properly, like you need to have your secondary monitor, if it's 1080p, it has to be on its side, otherwise the height doesn't match at all. Like it is slightly mismatched, so I think there's some useless space at the bottom, like it doesn't go all the way. Oh yeah, this is pretty much the bottom of the monitor, so this is how far it goes. So if it was oriented normally, like I would just have half of it going twice as long. So it would be, yeah, like this. So basically a quarter of this just pasted to the side. So that would be nonsense. That's not all that useful. So that's why it has to be in portrait. And it ends up looking like this. That's the setup. And the background, there's nothing behind me. I have a carpet that I roll on. Carpet is kind of brown, grayish. Everything is. Let's make it. It's kind of light brown actually. Like this. It's not. Doesn't look. So the carpet goes here maybe. Doesn't go all the way. It's like a small carpet for my chair to roll on. Yeah. Now I want to fork him in. I tell you, you will. Don't rush. You will get to a point where you will have a luxury of setting up your own setup. Like it's not something. Like you will come to that point with time. You definitely will, and especially with programming, 4K is so much superior that you will just need it. It's kind of required at some point as a developer to have a 4K display just to be productive, just because of the amount of stuff you can see at once. Like I can see the logs. Like if I show the thing again, which I obviously closed, need to reopen. So yeah, if you look at the layout, like this window bar, it might look very thin and small, but it's normal sized. Like the taskbar you have, like these, you can look at for the comparison. This is my window bar that has all the windows open. I even have multi-MC open still. So yeah, these are normal sized. Like and looking at the whole scheme, they are tiny, but they have so many things open at the same time. So I can see, for example, a huge list, a huge backlog of logs from my bot that I was monitoring today. I can have like chat, a huge chat in huge letters open. I can have other windows, like database, notes, something like that, and I have an area to work in. And usually this would take up much more space. So sent me the one that you were talking about. Oh, you sent it on here. Yeah, this is for gaming. Nah, nah. I don't like it. The wide one, yeah. So this is ultra wide, and it's good for gaming. It's good for immersiveness because it gives you peripheral vision. So if you're looking at the center of it, sitting in front of it, but for productivity, like imagine like your shortcuts are here, your like Windows start menu button is here. Even if it's not Windows, like you have something in the corner. For example, I have, well, in Linux, I have something in this corner. I have status bar is in the middle, actually, kind of to the side. So it would be like you would be like turning your head way too much. So it shouldn't be for productivity's sake, I wouldn't go with a monitor like that. I don't think it would be comfortable to use, because yes, you can have, let's say, 8 windows open at the same time, but you're not reading 8 things at the same time. I thought you can use 3 windows in one monitor. You can, but 3 windows, also for productivity, I wouldn't go with 3 windows. I would prefer to have a higher monitor, which is taller, I mean, not higher. Well, I guess it's the same word, same thing, a different name. So 4K, in my opinion, is superior to this for productivity. For gaming, I think this is really cool, because in gaming you don't really need to see like what's below your focus or what's above. Usually, if you're playing first-person shooter or anything that's first-person, like you wanna see, you're looking at what you're looking, and usually the whole thing, everything that's important, is happening at the same level. So having higher and lower vision doesn't help you. 27-inch 4K monitors, that's, if you like Retina, that's what I would go for. But 27 inch is 27 inch. It will be, I'd say, well, since I'm personally using 42-inch 4K monitor, I think that's really good for productivity. I'm yet to see something better, but I'm not actively going out and trying things, so I haven't tried that many things. But it is really good. But the benefit of it being 27-inch, it would be that you get that Retina feel where everything is very sharp, very high resolution, like the images, but you would need scaling, because everything would become really small. Well, not real, but like 40% smaller, let's say, than on a normal display, normal 1080p display. Because the benefit of having 4K at 42 inches is that I don't need scaling. Like, everything is normal scale, and everything is legible, everything is visible, everything is easy to read. So I don't need to scale everything, anything up or down. Alright, I think that's that concludes my my thoughts on displays. I was really into displays at some point. Like, it was very big area of interest for me at some point. And I feel like, yeah, 4K is the way to go. And then the size of the thing, I'd say it's a personal preference. If you really care about it being high resolution, like high pixel density, then yeah, go for 27-inch, and that will look really good. It should be comparable to Retina, like what you have on your Mac, iMac or MacBook, whatever it's called. But for productivity, like if you're programming and you're reading a lot of text, I would say go for 4K, like bigger, like 40-inch or something around that. It's still really comfortable to read, but it just gives you so much more space, and you don't need scaling. And scaling, like well, sometimes it works, sometimes not. In Mac, it probably does work really well, because Mac definitely needs scaling, just because of high pixel density displays. I'm not sure people actually make specific content tailored to Retina displays. They must, but, you know. I never researched that, so since I don't use it myself, so I wouldn't know otherwise. Right, so expiration date is less than valid till, like the potential valid till. Then what expiration date will be set to valid till, right? Yes, its default scale is 150%, yes, because it has to. Just because of, well, that's the downside of high pixel density. So if scaling doesn't work right, then Yeah. So in iOS, it's probably a non-issue. On Windows, it's a hit or miss. Like you can get something that doesn't scale properly, but as a general rule of thumb, I think you would be okay in Windows. And Linux, yeah, you can, then it might get dicey, depending on what kind of shell or what's a better name for it. I guess the shell is descriptive. Well, you know, if you use KDE or LXD or something like that. So depends on the environment. So you need to do your research. I imagine GNOME should scale pretty good because it's meant to be used on multiple like different devices. Like its idea is to be flexible and so on. Which, well, I don't use GNOME myself. I don't like the I don't like the look and feel of it. I prefer KDE. And KDE it has its own downsides. Not everything works properly, and sometimes you just have to find your ways to work around that. And scaling, I can definitely see being one of those issues. Right. So this. Do I do anything else? Just assign a value before saving. I think that's it. So it updates expiration date. So it's reset if it's wrong. Well, if it's shorter than this. And when I update, now I need to actually include that in my update. So here, database field name. Oh, actually I have a classifier for this now. Let's have it formatted. So it will be classifiers. Oh, that's gonna be a long classifiers bot. Yeah, it is a little bit confusing. Well, I guess it is as bot, denoting that it is a classifier. So yeah, these are the fields. The first one was name. Right, name. Language will be, I guess I can just copy paste this. This was language, I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Language. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot longer, but the names should be. Well, that's the point of this classifier. What was it before? Alliances. Alliances. Like, this is one of the things I learned quite recently, to use formatted strings like this. A really cool feature of Python. Fires as bot. So guilds, I imagine. I'm just guessing. Layers. I'm using 2.5K display on Mac. The size is 13 inch. Yeah, 2.5K doesn't mean anything. It's just the term they use to make it seem like it's more than half of 4K. You will have to give me an actual resolution, because I don't really follow, because each company has its own meaning behind 4K, 6K, 8K. Like, only 4K has a standardized resolution. All the rest, like 1080p, Full HD equals 1080p is the standard, and 4K is the standard. Anything else is arbitrary. So 2.5K, I have no idea what that means. You would have to give me the resolution. because you can't scale it one-to-one. It's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be a marketing term to sound as impressive as possible. Usually that's the case, especially with Apple. They don't really care about being accurate. So it's 2880 by 1800. Okay. Yeah, that is really high pixel density. Okay, let's try to figure out how did they come up with 2.5K. Because if you take a standard resolution, it would be 1920 by 1080. And math. So the difference between 1980 and 2880 is what, 900 and 900. Yeah. Oh, that's the term you made. Okay, that doesn't mean. Okay, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Well, you know, you making up that term, there's no difference. It's 2K. 2K doesn't mean anything as well, because 4K means it's 4 times the standard resolution, which is 1080p. So if you take 1080p monitors, that would be and put them into a square 2x2 and combine all of them, that would be equal to 4K. So that's how it gets to that. 2K, how do you do 2K? You take 2 monitors and then slice them up in some way to add them eventually. Like you have weird offcuts at that point in corners, like it doesn't work like that. Yeah, and it's not 2K even, like, because 1K is supposed to be full HD 1080p resolution. So 2K, what does that mean? It means double. If it's double, then it is 4K, because 4K is 4 of them put together, meaning 2 times higher and 2 times wider. So, you know, that's why these terms don't mean anything. You need to be talking in concrete resolutions. Because, well, so I can tell you why it's called 2K. Because it makes it sound like it's 2 times the resolution of full HD, which is supposedly 1K, like the standard 1K, which it isn't, because that would be 4K. So it's meant to seem like 4K when it's not 4K, if you get my point. And so yeah, 900. So on 1920 it adds 960. So 960. So it gives half of that. So it increases by 50%. So from standard resolution and 1880. So 1080 will result plus 740. So this is like, it doesn't even follow the same aspect ratio as 4K or standard resolution. So it's non-standard resolution display. Well, for Apple, I imagine it is standard resolution. But yeah, like, so you can't really follow the K notation, because K means, well, supposedly originally it meant full 1080p monitor, because 1080 is approximately 1000. So that's where the 1K came from. So if this resolution is 1K and you put 4 of these together, then you get 4K. So, you know, it is what it is. Don't really want to get in the I feel like it could start some kind of war. Well, in internet terms, like I feel like some people could be very passionate about these things for no good reason. So the only term, as far as I know, is 4K or full HD. Everything else is Who knows? But yeah, that is very high pixel density. Like your 27-inch 4K monitor wouldn't come close. Like, well, it would be close, but it would feel less sharp than your 13-inch laptop display, because well, you can just scale it. So let's see. 4K is 3840 by 2160. So this is 4K, and your display is 2880 by 1800. Who doesn't love doing math? Wait, so this is 720. So this is how much it adds. 780. That's not 40. Or whatever that was. Basically, it's not half of it. But this is half of it. Oh, that's the difference. Oh, okay, so aspect ratio is different, but... Right. So if you have this, usually standard displays are about 20 inch. So if you have a standard 1080p display, it would be around 20 inch. 20, I think that's how you denote inches. So yeah, that would be a standard. Yours is 13 inch, so it's way smaller with higher resolution. So that's why the difference is so drastic. And if you have this at 27 inch, like the size will be twice as large. So it would be more than putting together 4 displays of your laptop together into a big square. And the resolution would increase by 30% approximately, because the difference is a little bit less than 1,000, and well, it's almost 3,000, so proportionally so it will be the resolution density would decrease by about 30%, but your display would in size will increase more than well, diagonally more than twice, but in actual usable space more than 4 times. If that makes sense, I'm not sure. Hopefully it does. It makes sense in my head. Let's have them as reference for future use if needed. Right. And I forgot what was here before that. Oh, this is so useful. Actually, what comes? Oh, webhook 1. Okay. The ratio is also more in Mac. It's a 3.4. Well, yeah, the ratio. That's what I was speaking. That it's not a standard resolution because it's 3x4 ish. 16:9 is the standard resolution. So this is 16:9, and this is, let's see, 2880 by 1800. I can't really do that math in my head because, well, yeah, it's just weird. I'm sure they did a huge study and decided that this is the display aspect ratio to go with. So I won't say that it's better or worse. It's probably superior for many reasons that value. That only Apple researchers know. And you know, just how it is, I guess. So now I need to set this. Forget something. It looks like I did. Oh. Right, and I also need to set Expiration date. Expiration date. See, it's a look. I changed the scale back to 100%. Oof, that will be painful. Well, it would be, everything will be painfully small. Like, I wouldn't do that. It probably will be much more stressful to your eyes. It wasn't meant to be used at 100% scale. I think it was, yeah, it was never intended to be at like 1-to-1 scale, how 1080p monitors are. It's superior in a sense that it looks better when it's scaled properly. So the final result, because everything was scaled to 150% for by default because of that reason, because it will look better, and it actually needs that to be comfortable to use. And I kind of like not having to do that. That's why having like 42-inch, like pixel density is very close to this. Even, yeah, if it's a 20-inch, then it's even worse in pixel density than standard resolution monitor. So basically my 4K experience is like having 4 of your normal displays glued together, and the pixel density doesn't change. Like the color is pretty good, and viewing angles are good. I'm not sure about your standard monitors, but yeah, the size, the usable space, the look and feel is the same, but it's just four monitors put together. It's like a huge area of usable space. I can definitely see the appeal of having high density displays, like having everything look very sharp, very detailed. Definitely would be nicer, but it's not something I would go and pay extra money for personally. But you know, it might be just my attitude. Oh, I definitely wouldn't go by that expiration date. But that's how I set it. Daytime valid till. I converted to string before I set it. Do the same here. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I actually look at the right thing. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Good. Now time to check if it works. Let's see if my database, yeah, this is connected. I said because I had to investigate why something is not working. Right, and this error, duplicate option error. Ah. Yeah, yesterday I was doing translations. So config parse is complaining that, where is it? What language was it in? Language Portuguese TXT line 54. Portuguese line 54, this already exists. Yeah, how did I do that? Just copy pasting error. Oh. Right. Yeah, this is not right. I think I need to indent this. Yeah, this is all tabbed to the side. Yeah, I need to do that. Line 54 doesn't make sense. Let's talk about something else. Seem kind of specific. Try doing this. I didn't. Yeah, I had to do the translations for all the new save menus. Well, or new bot menu, new killbot menu, and all its submenus. Okay, let's see if there are changes now. Good. Complain that it's the same thing. Oh, no, it doesn't. What? Not right. 4 lines. Okay, this has 4 lines as well. Maybe it's other languages. Maybe it just doesn't like other languages. Oh, Hindi. Hindi is actually quite easy to read, which which value is the field name, which value is the actual translation. Okay. Okay, it started, it didn't crash. That's always a good first step. Test. And the new option, yes, to actually test it. I think all of these expire very far in the future. Yeah. Let's create a new bot. I need a webhook for this. Plain bots. I don't need a valid webhook. Webhook. This. Set alliance. Nonsense. Oh, it crashed. Wise position argument N skillbot. Why did I press test? Success callback. What? Why is it a success callback? It shouldn't be calling this. Menu. So calls the handler, which is success callback. Oh, it's missing one argument, so it needs menu. Why does it need that? It should result in menu. What did I mess up here? Killbot. So if I do save, so save killbot. Continue editing callback. Its name is continue editing. Oh, killbot, and it takes 2 arguments. Oh, this one, edit killbot. No, it doesn't take. It takes 2 arguments as well. What? How can it be missing one? Okay, let's try to untangle this. Button press, general stuff, handler for a button. So button handler is wrong. One good thing about being in a college is you get an education email ID, which gives unlimited cloud storage in Google Drive. Oh. Good, I guess. I'm not sure what's the purpose of having unlimited storage. I don't have unlimited storage, and I'm not really, don't feel like I'm limited by that. Save killbot. So this is what takes success callback. What do I give it as? So success callback is the last argument. Save callback. And it is test killbot. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, it definitely needs a menu. So save callback is what? If it's a new killbot? Oh, it's supposed to be a default value. So it's not bot, it's this gives edit killbot listbots menu, and this should go to the start menu. Menu, get start menu. I don't think that needs any arguments. It just takes the user. Okay. That was odd. How did it not crash? Well, I guess I didn't test this functionality yesterday. Okay. Right. That stopped. Okay, run it again. Menu has no attribute get start menu. It's not supposed to be an Is that circular import? Did I misread this? Ah, circular import. Oh. Okay, so that's the same issue, so I need to set it to none. Yeah, this is a weird workaround, so I need to do the same as I do here, where if the callback wasn't provided, I need to set it myself. So I need to check for save callback, it's none, then save callback is menu, get start menu. I can't think of a better way to work around this circular import thing. Yeah, method definitions are weird. No, function definitions are a bit awkward. Maybe if it was in a class, like I should probably encapsulate this in a class for no good reason, as far as I can tell. Still function definitions, or do they become methods when they're inside a class? Philosophical question. Okay. I'm not sure why this is so enjoyable. Can you tell me why this is so enjoyable? I honestly don't know. I'm not doing anything special, I'm just fixing errors. Wait, did it save? Probably check. Did save. Just failed after it saved. Okay. So do I print out the ID anywhere? Config. So this is the bot's ID. Yeah, it doesn't look like print out the ID anywhere. Oh well. Okay, let's see if it crashes. It did crash. Amazing. Positional arguments were given in this spot. So success callback. In save killbot should be killbot. So in this case, when I'm updating, it's listbots menu, which doesn't take any arguments as well. And 2 were given. How come 2 were given? Oh, I'm just dumb. I just give 2 parameters here for no reason. Does it save? Fail callback. A new callback doesn't actually care, because it's done. And the fail callback is the only one that needs to know about which bot is in this menu. And when you're done saving, it doesn't care. And I still think I'm missing translation. Up. Guess there's a button to rerun instantly. I like the idea of like streaming each day what I'm coding. Like it feels like working. Like I really like working. I really liked working as a developer. I just didn't like the environment I was working in. Let's see. Right, so let's do this again. If one is the new one, save it. Still crashed. And still 2 arguments were given. Oh, I edited the wrong thing. Success callback. Oh yeah. Dumb but extra stupid. This is... Right, so bot is not needed here. When I save a bot, I definitely need to know what I'm saving. Oh. Why so... Oh wait. Skip. I think this is relaunch the same configuration. Yeah, let's do that. This will restart the current configuration. Okay, that's exactly what I need. I'm so grateful for myself choosing computer science instead of my father's choosing me to take electrical engineering. Well, electrical engineering is also a good field. Like you shouldn't. Well, it's a different type of work though. If I had to took it all, I do would. If I had to, it all I do would feel like study. Yeah. Well, it is. Now I just feel like I'm doing what I like. You know, electrical engineering has its upsides. Like definitely, you don't need to learn that many things as in programming. In programming, you need to keep learning all the time, which is, you know, if you like learning, like learning new things, to like studying, like tinkering with things, then it's really good. Like it will fit you really well. But if you want to make just make good money, then yeah, electrician is really good. Like it takes a little bit of extra work. Like there's a little bit of overhead, but that's programming as well. Yeah, but what I'm learning is fun. Well, electricity isn't too bad. There's plenty of things to learn there as well. But because electricians don't, like you don't think about electrician, that all electrician does is goes around installing sockets. Like that's like wall sockets for plugging in your appliances. Like they definitely do that, but they do that because it pays well, not because people not like the syllabus of electrical engineering in India. I can't imagine it being all that different. Like I know there's a lot of theory, and there's a good reason for that. There's plenty to learn there, and not all of that is dry and lifeless. Like for some people, programming looks like a very dry field. There's just a lot of technical jargon, a lot of technical terminology, and all the books, like books usually don't have illustrations. Like the illustration of of a program of code of the illustration contains more text. Plus, I don't like theory. Yeah, well, I don't really know a student who does. It's just something you need to know, pretty much in any field. Just with programming, you can get into without when you're an electrician, you need to know the theory in advance, because it is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. With programming, like, you're not risking anything. Like, if you don't understand how your program interacts with your machine, how everything comes together to work, like, it's not a big deal. Like, you will struggle, like, you won't get good results, but no one will die. So, you know, there's a different emphasis on the theory. But theory, there's plenty of theory in both fields. And if you want to be good at it, you will need to know in programming as well as in electrical, well, being an electrician. And that's why I say, that's why I keep recommending that you should read books about patterns in general. Like, because that's the theory of programming. Who knows, I became friend chicken one day just because of a small mistake. Who knows, I became a fried chicken. Oh yeah, fried chicken one day just because of a small mistake. Yeah, that's why theory is so important. So that's why you need to learn it in advance in electrical engineering but in programming, like, you can't skip that and go to the more juicy, more interesting part where you can start tinkering with it right off the bat without risking anything. Well, I guess you can tinker in different ways. So if you go right into trying to hack servers and so on, then you might not like the outcome, but the risks are a little bit different. But right off the bat, like, just by trying something out, you won't accidentally kill yourself. But yeah, theory, there's plenty of theory in both fields. I wouldn't say that programming has less theory, it's just not as important for someone who's studying it or just starting up. But when you're a seasoned developer, you will need a bunch of theory. You will need to know how networks work, you will need to know how servers work, you will need to know, or at least understand, how front end works, and so on. Like, it is a very broad field, and yeah, there isn't one book that has all the theory. There are many books, and you need to be at least aware of most of them. Well, to be like a senior developer who's actually making design decisions about how the systems your programming will work or look or be implemented. But yeah, read patterns. Patterns are very important. It's really important to understand the patterns, programming patterns. That's something I'm struggling still. I wish I was more active in studying those. Because now, usually what happens, someone says, oh yeah, well, I find a video or an article describing a pattern, and I think, oh, I never heard about this pattern, let's see what it's about, and it turns out it's something I already do, but it's just, I never put a name to that thing. And it would be beneficial to learn the name of the thing in advance. Patterns like this, let's see. I think the term to Google for is design patterns. Design patterns. And then, well, C# is Java. So basically these are in Python. So any programming language. But I would say just look for general patterns, design patterns. Yeah, so these yeah, if you don't even, well, I guess you're just a very fresh beginner. So yeah, this is a nice overview of all the patterns. Well, major patterns, like something you should know, or at least be aware of. Adapter, bridge, structural patterns, also, yeah, and different groupings for them as well. Template, visitor strategy, state pattern, observer pattern, and also, yeah, and supposedly they have something, sharing state, sharing strategy. So yeah, some of the patterns overlap with their ideas. Zero or more legend. Wow. Components of software system. Oh, okay, so these are not the patterns. These names are very similar to some of the patterns. Observer is definitely a pattern. So yeah, yeah, design patterns in Java: singleton, factory, builder, prototype, structural patterns, adapter, composite, fly, decorator, behavioral patterns, observer. Yeah, so that's what threw me off. Because there are plenty of names I don't know, plenty of patterns I don't know, and I wish I knew. It would definitely be helpful to become a better developer, because the patterns will introduce, well, for me at first it seemed pointless, like they seemed very, coming in a few minutes, lunchtime. Well, I'll still have an hour to go, but yeah, read about patterns, design patterns. It doesn't have to be in Java. Pick your language, whatever you want. I would even argue that learning all patterns, like language independent, would be more useful, because you can apply them in different languages in different ways when you understand what they are, what each pattern is about. There's a very good channel, actually. I will link it in. I've been watching it recently. Let's see, how can I do this? I can do this. I don't remember the name, but he does lectures on YouTube on patterns, and they are pretty decent. He bases them off a book about patterns. I think it's one of my recently watched videos, like one of my newfound passion for programming involves looking at that. Here it is. Christopher Okhari. Okay. So he makes lectures, quite good lectures. So this would be the link, and I will post it in my community Discord as well. So this is the guy who does lectures on YouTube. If you want to watch videos, he drags on quite a bit, and yeah, it's usually I don't watch them all the way, just to the point where I realize what it's actually about, what it looks like in practice. Because most of those things I've seen in practice and either deemed unnecessary or just never got used to doing, or I use them because they are useful and just don't put a name to it. They don't have a label in my head. So yeah, that's what I'm talking. That kind of patterns I'm talking about. Right. Well, actually, can I post the same message in both things like this? Oh, I choose a platform. What happens if I do this? Oh, it shows up on both. Okay, that's cool. Should do that more often. Right. I guess YouTube should like this because I'm sharing something on YouTube. Okay. Back. So whatever this is about. Wait, did this crash? Oh, I'm testing it again. Just checking. It's not testing, it's checking. Okay, list, edit, save. Now the save shouldn't crash. Yeah. What's saved? I need to add this translation. Does it actually have anything specific to killbot? Let's see. I think it's start menu, new, bot saved, new killbot named. It does have something specific. This is generic and this is specific. That's not good. That's bad naming. Let's change that. That's good. That's why. That's the benefit of having classifiers. It's not as painful to change some magic strings. So yeah, success. Test message sent. Test killbot message. Success killbot created. Yeah, and it says new bot saved. So this corresponds to this. Let's change it. New killbot saved. That's what it specifies explicitly. It says it's a killbot, not a battlebot. Oh, now we need to do the same 25th line on the all translations. Easy to forget. How come this is 24th line? 25th. Well, I have two lines here, I think, yeah. It's not the convention that... Let's keep everything aligned, because it will be here to keep track. 24th line. There as well. Last but not least, Hindi. Damn, Hindi looks so funny. Well, maybe not funny, but interesting. Looks very close. It reminds me of Arabic, I think. So maybe they have some. Well, they are related in some way. So what am I supposed to do now? Oh yeah, move this translation. Maybe not move. Should I move it? New killbot saved. Killbot saved. Not new killbot. Wait, it says new? What's saved? And this says new killbot named saved. Let's change that. Can I change that? Wait, let's see if I save a new killbot. So when I save, button style success. Imagine it's one of the callbacks. Ditting. How can I not see things like that when I'm editing? So it references itself. So it's a loop back of some sort. In essence, can't really be much anything else. Good. Okay. Right. Editing. Blah blah. Right, so it must be the different one. So when I do the right, I should probably just I can do it. There's an easier way to do this. I don't use magic strings. I always forget. I'm not used to not using magic strings or messages. Success killbot created. Let's look where it's used. It's used 2 places. Oh, so this is where it gets set. Save killbot. Right. So I guess I can assign it somewhere else. Yes, I can. How should I do this? So it should be moved inside this if statement, because one is for creating a new one is for editing existing one. Menu, and before saving calling success callback, before it's actually saves, I think is a little bit premature. But, well, unless an exception happens. There shouldn't be any exceptions at this point. Everything should be verified. When it comes to saving. Right. Okay. Bit like this. So new one is this, when ID is none. And here is an update. Let's say we have a message, success killbot dated. String equals killbot saved. So it will say the same thing. Oh, the translation is gonna be a manual. Okay, it will be fun, quote unquote, fun to untangle this. So it says, I'm back, welcome back. I shared the link on both YouTube and Twitch, which I can apparently do using Restream, to the, I'm not sure if you heard what I was talking about, elbow bump, yeah. It's a really good one. I recently started watching him, so he does like dedicated videos for different patterns, and they are not bad. Like it seems like he manages, like he's very verbose, and his explanations are a little bit long-winded, but okay, so this guy that I linked, his channel, like, take a look. Like, that's the kind of patterns I'm talking about. If you don't want to read a book, you can watch videos. But the key thing is, if you're serious, if you actually want to retain some knowledge, because it's not something that will be useful immediately. Like, it's not something you learn and just apply it immediately. Like, you need to at least, well, first of all, you need to have like a set of them that you know, or aware of their features, like their benefits and downsides, and what kind of problems they solve, and what's an appropriate situation to apply them, and then you can start applying them. Because only if you only know like 1 or 2 of them, it doesn't really change much. You like to have like 10 patterns, 20 maybe, of them, aware of them, their upsides and downsides. But for that to work, like, this is the theory part of programming. Like, you need to take notes for yourself to look back on. So like quick references, like have a notepad document or some, I'm not sure where you take notes, but something that you can easily find, and structure in a way where you can find what's the benefit of each pattern, what's the downside, and what's the appropriate, what kind of problem it solves, and so on. So have notes like that, and maybe some additional notes that you feel are necessary. Like, well, they are your notes, so you should know how to write down your own notes. Like, that's kind of a personal thing. There's no right or wrong way to do notes. Like, not doing them is wrong. But if you're doing them, then you're doing right. And if you use them, you will feel like you will figure out what should be improved. Because it is a personal thing. Some people need more detail, some people need specific things mentioned to make them more useful, and so on. This is the process of learning. Like, this is how you learn the theory of programming. Wait, I'll share you one of my notes when I just joined the university. Okay, I'll imagine those. I can remember my notes, like just things that are not really worth writing down. Like, I was writing down things that were not even worth the paper they were written on. I was so excited and made lots of. Yeah, I guess everyone does that. I at least you get some practice. So there's always a silver lining, even though those notes are useless, but at least you got some practice writing them down. So it wouldn't be a foreign concept when you actually needed to take notes. That's the thing about, okay, so also a nugget of my experience, time, I guess, every time nugget of knowledge would be that okay, let me finish before I forget, because I will get distracted and forget to mention this. It won't be relevant to you right off the bat, but maybe, well, since you're in it, but whatever. When you're in the meeting, take notes. Take notes what's being said, take notes what's being decided, take notes what people say about certain, like what are the conclusions. If there's a discussion and people are not decisive, like write out the options, what was came about, or what was the issue, or something like that. Take notes, as many notes as you can take during the meetings, because otherwise meetings are pointless. Like, if you have a meeting, like, otherwise meetings are just a waste of time. Like, it's not worth like, if you bring together 4, 5, 10 people together for an hour to have a discussion and there's nothing to show for it afterwards, like, the meeting is pointless, because no one will remember everything. If certain people people tend to remember what they said, they don't tend to forget what other people said, and yeah, that's a huge issue. And the only cure, and no one tells you that, well, it's rare that management mentions it, or people who train new interns, new developers, and so on. They tend to miss this part, but it is very crucial part, taking notes during meetings. Right, and let's take into your notes now. Actually, this is not the nice way to copy it. Let's copy it from here. Week 1. So much white. Well, you get flashbanged by yourself with this fancy whatever this is. I guess this is Notion site. Huh. Can you see the URL I have open? Oh yeah, you can. Sure, that's a good thing. Yes, it's good to be aware of that. General purpose language, it can be used in multiple things. No, well, yeah, I guess so. Python is a high level of abstraction language. Yeah? These are good, decent notes. All starry. Yeah. Well, but can you read the URL? You can. Oh, this! You don't get flashbanged. Oh, this is a nice anti-flashbang hack. Because it's on my screen, it's all white, like bright white, like as white as the colors on the stream. Not colors, letters here. So these letters are not white on my, well, they are gray, light gray. So basically, yeah, that's the. It's even whiter than this selection box. So it's all just pure white. Cool. So this is a anti-flashbang technology. We're evolving. Let's see. Low-level language, machine code, binary, medium-level language C, Python, high-level. Okay, well this is repeats the same thing. Python is a dynamic ins, but Python is a dynamically typed language. Well, this almost makes sense, but I get the idea. The idea is right. I can read the URL. Okay, doesn't know about the type, the variable until the code is run. So declaration is of no use. What it does is stores what value at some memory location, then binds that variable name to that memory container. Yeah. Made in a hurry. Yeah, that's. Yeah, you need to learn to type fast if you're taking notes in on a laptop. I usually take notes with my hand, like my handwritten notes, because I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Like I'm old, maybe. I appreciate handwriting. I like having a pencil in my hand and feeling of writing with a pencil, specifically with a pencil, because pen and pencil are two different things. Writing with a pen is writing with a pencil is kind of satisfying. It has that good feeling. I'm not sure how to describe it. Okay, so some things won't make sense. Wait, so these nodes are quite recent. You took them like half a year ago, right? Python is dynamically typed language, okay. So, how to change over its lifetime. Yeah, it's basically referencing everything by, well, the variables are assigned by reference. If, yeah, well, that's another way of saying it. Well, it's a way of using other language terminology. Took them in August, I think. Yeah, so these are quite recent. So I don't think you even get a chance. Well, yeah. Compiler, it covers high-level language to lower-level language, converts. That's not correct. Compiler compiles binaries. So it takes the code and compiles it into a binary, and the binary could take different shapes. So Python compiler will compile it into bytecode, well, which is binary run by Python interpreter. So imagine like if it's a binary, well, for example, what's the difference between interpreted languages and compiled languages? Well, traditionally compiled, because both of them are compiled, but you know, that's there's a lot of history why these terms are confusing, but they are confusing. So, as a concrete example, what's the difference between Python and C++? C++ compiler will compile it into binary that's run by the operating system. So you don't need anything else. And languages that are interpreted, like Python and Java, get compiled into a bytecode, which is run by an interpreter, which is well, it has to be installed on top of the operating system. It's like a intermediary. It's like it's a middleman between your code, your binary, and the operating system. And when that middleman is missing, then you get well, these are C#, like not C#, C, C++, C, and a bunch of other languages like that, low-level languages. Python doesn't use compiler, it converts to higher level language. Bytecode. Well, yeah. Well, you can call it compiling because it's converting, because compiling is converting. I mean, potato, potato. Guess it doesn't really matter. The principles are this, like the important thing. Binary platform independent programming language. Python is binary. Not sure what that means. I think this was mentioned out of context and it wasn't really supposed to go with this. Can run virtually all operating systems and platforms. Well, it runs on a Python interpreter, which is, well, which can, well, you can run Python code on any operating system that has a Python interpreter written for it. Whereas machine code, which is generally by compiler, is platform dependent. Well, yeah, I guess that's a different way of explaining the same thing. Yeah, I guess yeah, these look decent notes, as far as I can tell. My notes looked quite worse, in my opinion. Also, they were on paper, so you know the usefulness of that is quite questionable. Because this you can actually preserve for a long period of time. Like you can pass along this to like next year students. I guess that was a thing before as well. Data type conversion. Changing one from data type to another. Yeah, this is this is language dependent. Like it doesn't mean like this is just for Python, as far as I can tell. Not even that. I'm not sure if these are character. Maybe. Yeah, I don't really use these all that often. Also, conversion from binary to how to convert a number into a binary. Yeah. And this is the last one. Oh yeah, this is the first one. This is the lowest one. Oh, this is the lowest one. Is this right? Right, actually. So binary to decimal. Oh, so this is just a table for reference. Yeah, this should be 2. Red ones are decremented. Oh, these. Oh. Right. Okay. Well, still. Well, you guess you can take notes. I would rather have a link to the documentation where it points to all the methods like these. Yeah, it's good to have them, I guess. Whereas, but they change from language to language, so I don't see a point in learning all of them by memory. Maybe certain types, well, most of the types you should know by heart in language. So, and then conversion and such things like that. Just be aware of those things that they are possible, and then when needed, you will be able to figure out how to do that. Return sum, yeah. All the operators, yeah. Basically, you're writing their own documentation of this. So that's a little bit superfluous. That's one way of learning, because when I'm studying documentation, when I'm reading through it for the first time, I'm taking notes as well, much like these. Well, not as detailed, but things I didn't expect or things that were new to me, I definitely take down in a written form just to help me memorize it better. Binary operations, I'm not sure. If you're talking about Python in the same chapter, like talking about binary conversions and so on, like it seems kind of pointless. But yeah, well, binary operations. Not even sure when you would use them. maybe in some fancy math that's used by like 10% of developers through their lifetime. To in, not in, and this reads a lot like Python, official Python documentation, which is cool. Hey, these are quite high quality notes. And this was all in first week. Yeah, it is a significant amount for the first week. Like it's a big load. But I guess you came to learn about programming. Oh, you know, I have to teach you something. Like for us, it was a little bit more gentle. If I remember correctly, we didn't learn any specific language, so we were learning in pseudocode at first. So it was just like a general version of programming languages, which just dealt with concepts common in programming languages, like objects, inheritance, and so on. I made these till 3 weeks. Then I just started solving algorithms and problems, and they automatically get in my memory. Yeah, that's how you actually learn the language. You just have the documentation as a reference, but you know, if you just to know what is in the documentation, you need to know what's in it so you can reference it afterwards. You don't need to learn it by memory. You will learn by repetition, by using the same thing over and over again. You just need to be aware of what's possible, and how it's done you will figure out along the way. What did I... Oh, killbot saved. Right. Killbot save. Oh yeah, it's the same, right? The new killbot saved. Oh. Should have edited. I'm 90% sure that's not how you spell edited, but we'll have to do. Right. What's this? Killbot named so and so, saved. And well, you're already in that area, so you will see it. You open your eyes too much. I'll add translations at some point. Sure. Hopefully. Right. I will use it not here, but somewhere around here. Here. If it's none, goes to the new. Killbot created. This will be success. Oh, I don't have what? Oh, I have the same twice. Success, killbot, saved. Oh, here. Not saved. And I save pass along name. Now this shouldn't. Okay, let's do this. Shouldn't give this word string. It should actually give me a translation or a normal message. 5. If I save it. Killbot named saved. Killbot named killbot. Oh, like everything works now. Like it's so refreshing, being actually use it functionally, as an end user, get the experience of using it, which is like, you're not using it, you test game with a typo. And I save it now. Test name saved. Oh, this is not right. I changed the name and the name stayed old. I go back. Oh, it cancels back to the start menu. Okay, that needs to be changed. And now the name is refreshed. That's odd. I'll refresh the name at this point. Well, I can live with that name not being updated. I don't really like that cancel brings you back to the start menu. That I would like to change. So let's see. Can stay up for now. So when I do killbot, in the editing window, cancel button goes either the start menu or it's not none. Set custom buttons. Its value will be set to something similar, but not the same. It will be the same button. Another thing I want to change, I think cancel button should be gray, not red. Not such a bad operation. Because you get into a situation where you have two red buttons, delete and cancel, and they like have drastically different consequences. And when you press delete, the green button is to confirm cancel is red. So it switches colors, so you need to press the red button, then the green button. Which is a design inconsistency I don't really want to keep. And the only cure I think is to make all the cancel buttons gray. Let's see how that looks actually. So gray would be second. Don't get into the menu start, go to the save callback. That's save callback is, oh, it's set here. Okay, so before that, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's all by reference. Right. I think that's it. Start. If I edit. Okay, cancel is gray. Not sure I like it. I kind of like that there's more colors. Gray is, well, gray is very gray. So if I press cancel, it should return me to the list. Yep. And if I cancel from here, go to start menu. If I go here, create new bot. From this configuration, well, cancel button is red, indicating it's different. It should return to the start menu. Okay. So it works as intended both ways. I'm starting to reap the rewards of all this work, of having so much, like, I started with the spaghetti code, but spaghetti code was only 1,000 lines long and everything was in one file. And now everything is spread over like 10 files, and who knows how long how many lines it takes in total. But I can do things like that. I can do quick changes, modifications that drastically, no, not drastically, no, that change the functionality in a significant way without major headaches. So that is really cool. So let's, there's an easy way to do this. Well, just because the classifiers, why they're so awesome. Like, this is like a breath of fresh air after having to deal with cancel. Even this could be even more generalized. So yeah, cancel button is used in a lot of places. Yeah, there are a lot of cancel buttons throughout everywhere. And actually I wanna make this, want this to be main. Yeah, this. So I'll go one by one. Okay, cancel button, this declaration. Bot, cancel button. And everywhere I go, I can change this. What? It's a custom button with primer, so blue. The blue. Create user input. So if I go here, the user input would be here. Yeah, it is blue. Wow. The cancel button changes colors. Different menus. I guess when I added this, I wanted this to be red, but I didn't want both to be red. Okay, well, it will be gray everywhere now, so I think that's the good choice. So yeah, primary, secondary. Go to the next instance, danger, so this one was red. Secondary. Have that copied. Just copy paste it. Wait, this was it? Oh, this was it. Cancel button secondary. Oh, okay, so works. It's danger. This one is secondary. That's updated. This button. Yeah, looking back at this, there's so much code. It feels like it's at the limit where I would actually consider using some framework being useful. I guess you don't really need a big application to get a lot of value from learning a framework or incorporating a use. Some third-party cumbersome framework. Make too many mistakes. Well, hopefully I'm not making too many mistakes because I'm copy-pasting on pretty much autopilot. Secondary. Gray already. Extend bot. Okay. Apparently it was already... Oh no, it was... Oh, looking at the wrong file. Damn it. That's the downside of having multiple files open once. You might not notice when you switch between them. This is the danger. It's to be changed. And the last one is bot. Let's redo this. Can I do a search? previous searches. Cancel. Look for cancel. Just to make sure. Primary, this is not changed. Oh, it is changed. Oh, it shows previous results as well. Let's see. Cancel this. Not save here. Okay. G. Secondary. Audio quality on Twitch is so good as compared to YouTube. Yeah, well, Twitch really knows what counts on streams. That's why they don't care about, well, yeah. YouTube should know as well, but YouTube probably, well, it's a secondary field, streaming in general. If your audio source is not of prime quality, you can definitely feel it on YouTube, I imagine. That would be my reasoning why it's like that. It is sad, I agree. Especially since my microphone isn't that good. If, yeah, microphone would be one of the first things I were to upgrade. If I were to upgrade something about my stream, it would be the microphone. Like, get a decent microphone. I feel like audio quality means a lot more, well, to the experience. Right. Okay, let's run it, check how it works. Okay, this is very cramped at this point. Okay, great. Oh. Yeah, I loved when it was differently colored faces. Kinda makes sense. Test, save, like there are no drastic options here. When you list, you can delete. It's important. Here I can delete as well. Oh, I didn't actually check the new feature. Just to extend the bot for 2 days if it's about to expire. And that. Have its payment ID, so I guess I can select its configuration by payment ID. Let's see, let's ticker events. Whatever. Let's use a window like this. So yeah, it's all see-through, even though this is completely white and this is dark. It's like dark brown, like dark gray, and this is white. I have no idea how it maps those two colors, that this white is the same as this. Yeah, doesn't make sense. You can see from the lettering that it's actually the background is white. Yeah, that's bizarre. I guess that's the some sort of issue. Maybe I misconfigured it somehow. But white being transparent is not a bad thing as well. As long as it's not too transparent. Maybe I have two colors set up. That's a possibility somehow. Right, select. From operations. Doesn't give me any of the suggestions. Operations where sale ID. Operations payment ID. I don't remember things like this. Is equal to this. Okay. I had it in my Oh, it's in Discord. Yeah, today today is not smart every day. Right, it selected it. Good expiration date, so we can edit this. Wait, it 12? So it expires tomorrow? That's not right. Why does it expire tomorrow? Should expire in 4 days. Wait. I know what's going on here. Helper. Okay, we can test this real quick. So let's get rid of this configuration. Okay, I guess it's... Okay, I stopped it myself. Yeah, let's do a quick check. If I'm right. I'm pretty sure I created this one today. Okay, let's delete the old one so it wouldn't interfere with anything else. Test niam. I am. Wait. Confirm. Maybe confirm should be red. Now it's green. Oh yeah. Tough choice. Because you need to press a red button, then you need to press a green button. It is kinda intuitive when you're confirming. I'm torn on this one. Help me with colors. Tough design decisions I have to make as an independent developer. Right, so now I need to create a new instance. And my brain is not performing at all. Okay. Claim bot. Shit. Thing. Okay, now to press. Appliances monitor is done. Save. So now it should expire in 14 days. I mean 40. So in 15th of February. See what it says. It says 13th of February. And that's not what it should be. Why is that? So the saving is wrong. Go there. Saving date. I assigned the initial date wrong. That sounds like something I would do. Killbot. Killbot ID. We don't assign anything. Killbot. Trial days. Trial days, I'm pretty sure is 4. Unless in test environment I changed it. Open a file. But they shouldn't open on stream. This. Files. Open on stream. File. An issue. test. Hopefully this works. Operation. Okay, it did work, kind of. So let's see, test delay, test mode. Trial days is 4. Why do you name it trial days? There can be someone who changes that variable and use it forever? Not really. This is because I want to change it sometimes. Basically, yes. So it could be changed at any point, but it can be changed by anyone else. Like if you have access to my server where this is running, then you would be able to change it. Name it like error count equals 5. I can, but next time I come back and look for a variable that sets the expiration date, I need to remember to look for error count instead of trial days. Like the names are like they are for for a good reason. Yeah, I don't really assign trial dates in test mode, so I don't change. So it is actually 4, and it still gets changed to 2. That's not how it's supposed to be. So when I update expiration date, let's define a new variable. This require investigating. Nothing much to investigate. It saves killbot, which is referenced here. Oh, these are searches of this. Clear these. They're messing with me. Yeah, it's not referenced here anywhere. It's referenced actually in killbot here. The value gets assigned. So if expiration date is none, it has. So the question is, if I load it from the database, is it none? No, actually when I create a new one. Well, the new one will always be none because I define it as none. Don't look at that. That's a mess and a half. Yeah, so the third value will be none. Right. That's I don't really know why or how, but I guess there's only one way to find out, by doing some good old debuggering. What? Right, it triggers already. I guess that's the important part when it gets assigned. 13. So what is trial days? 2. The file, it says in the configuration file it says 4. I guess I assigned this incorrectly. Here there are 2 places. Oh, that's why. It has a fallback value. If it's not defined in the test. I do this to myself. I be like all fancy and use cool features and completely forget about it and just be confused when it actually works as designed. Okay, now I set it in the configuration file to be 1 day. So when I'm running it in test mode with the test configuration bot, new bot expires in 1 day. So when I create a new one, it should expire in 1 day. When I edit and save it, it expires in 2 days. That's the test case test scenario going for. First of all, it crashed. Duplicate options. Oh, it has a different name. Right. Test trial days. Try again. But what? Killbot. It's the old hook. It's nice. One nice thing about having a user interface in Discord, you have all the history. That's strong. Setting something else, I guess. So now, when I save it, it should expire in 1 day. It's saved. So when I list, and it expires in 1 day. That is good. It's my current local time. I guess it's good if it's local time. It's gonna be server time, I guess. So it will be in UTC. Right. So now when I edit 6th entry, doesn't matter that I don't change anything. It should expire in 2 days, but this is not updated live. Let's go back and open this menu again. Yeah, it expires in 2 days. So everything is working as expected, except this menu doesn't refresh itself after you come back from editing it. So if I edit something here, name for example. Wait for what? What's save it? It's here. Yeah, the name doesn't update. Do I care enough to go and look around? How that happens? I used to crack these applications by changing the time of the machine, so the try period extends. Yeah, you can't do that. It's done on the server side. It's not not. You can do that, actually. You can, but the time, like the machine you're talking about is the server that's running this bot. It's not your Discord client machine, because your machine doesn't matter. It matches my local time, like my local machine, because now I'm running it from this instance, which is on the same machine. So that's why they match. But for example, if I do the same for example the live machine, which is on the server, which is running at UTC time, it's so much harder to use. It doesn't remember my old commands. So let's do the same thing. Let's set up a new bot and let's see what time it says. Oh, name matter. And 14 saved and list bots. So yeah, you'll see the time zone. It expires in 4 days as it's supposed to, because that's the production version, and the time doesn't match my machine time. It's in UTC, so good then. Yeah, that is a good. Well, it's good practice to be mindful of these things. Oh, this looks so archaic. but people still use it. And some people want to keep it like this. Like there were actual people who didn't like the new interface suggestion. Well, there was only one, I guess. Some people didn't want the extend feature. So when I added bot, that the bot will be extended. Right. Now the updating. Do I want to work on the updating? I guess I can check why it's not updating and see how difficult it would be to change it. Because if I go, it might not even update the list, because now there's an extra entry. So if you go back, does it show 7? It does show 7. So how does it decide when to reload the configuration, when not to? Oh, there's actually a crash. You can crash this. Oh, that's not good. So if you make more than 20 bots at a time, it should crash, in theory. Now that I think about it, I need to note that somewhere. Do I have it noted? Maybe? My to-do list. These are errors. Yeah, to-do list. I don't see it. Okay, let's see. Window. Pro view. Probably view actually. Tasks. Oh yeah, it was here. Handle press on button by those who waited longer than 1 hour. Oh, that's not handled. Okay, that sucks. I will have to do that at some point. Also, I need to handle way too many bots. I guess only first 20 bots will be able to be mapped by buttons, because the limit of how many buttons I can have in the Discord message is 25. The last 5 are reserved, so I can only have 20 dynamic buttons. Menu. I want a new cool thing. Yes, find action. Menu. Editors menu. Bye. Okay, so found it. So custom buttons. Get menu item buttons. So this. Oh, it actually has a check. It reaches 20. Breaks. Menu has too many items to be mapped to buttons. Okay, well, I guess I thought of it. I guess it won't crash. I never actually tested it. At least I don't think I did. This should be good. Okay, let's still make a to-do. Test this. Actually works. I saw that if you format it in a certain way, some editors make it differently colored, but Eclipse, I guess, just marks it as a task, so you can see it in the task list. Or future self, leaving little nuggets of joy to deal with. Singleton has a lot of text that's going away. Right. Now imagine rewriting this whole application to support proper testing, like having unit tests, test coverage, and so on. Oh, that's... mini browsers. Not copy from here, copy it from this window. Let's see what that's about. Actually, I need to end the stream. Meet min. Browse without distractions. Takes up less space, gives you more room to browse the web. Pages you haven't looked at in a while fade out, letting you see what's important. Yeah, this is for those who have like chronic issues with following, getting chronically distracted. So you keep opening new things, and you're like your tab open tab count just keeps growing infinitely until your your machine runs out of memory and it crashes. Yeah, definitely there's an audience for stuff like this. Super minimalistic browser, yeah, it sounds like it. But it's not what I don't really feel the need for it. I definitely have a lot of tabs open, but like I want these tabs to be open because I want to come back to them eventually. I don't want them to be gone next day. They don't really close these windows. So for example, yeah, here like translation is not something I'm gonna use today. I'm maybe able by fancy doing some translating for the for localization, but don't want it to be gone eventually. I will need it. Restream especially, like this is useful. I use it once before the stream starts to change the title on all platforms. Yeah, but the idea is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a really cool product. I definitely see it being useful, but not for, well, not useful enough for me to even try to adopt it. It would have to be, for me to even try it. I like that it uses DuckDuckGo, that's a big benefit, but probably a better solution would be just to have it optional. So you would be able, well, I'm sure it's, because any browser can be changed to use a default search engine to whatever you want. With fuzzy search. I don't like fuzzy terms like that. Fuzzy search. Ugh. It means it peeks around multiple places you don't really want it peeking. And when it peeks, well, it peeks and tells, which means it makes a callback. The 4 gigabytes memory is huge. Yeah, well, it's twice as much as I have my machine. Wish I had 64 actually. That's one. Yeah, 31.3, I guess. I wish I had 64 because I'm not running out, but my cache is getting filled. After that, I do have. What does it say about 64 gigabytes? Did I miss it? I think it's not the amount of memory. I think the memory has other issues, like the memory interface. Something is wrong with that. Because when it fills to 50%, usually stops around 50%, and then stuff starts being pushed to swap, which really make much sense. So to me, it indicates that maybe one of my DIMMs is not really accessible. But I've seen it go up to like 60-70%, so that debunks that theory. But why use swap before? Yeah, it's just something is odd. Not sure what. I'm not sure it's, well, I never bothered to investigate, so I have no idea. So where did you get that 65 gigabytes from? I didn't see it mentioned here. I might have missed it. Wait, does this look odd? Yeah, everything that's white is transparent on stream. Oh, that's so odd. Oh, you thought I have 61? Okay, I have 32 now. I'm a pleb. This is not a powerhouse of machine. It is a decent. It's like I don't want to say it's budget. It's like mid-range workstation machine with decent, like a budget gaming GPU, something like that. That would be a description I have. It knew. Who knew? I'm Oh, silencing stars instead of white. Yeah, stars instead of white. Well, it's better than being flashbanged. So, goodbye to that, I guess. Well, it's only specific to certain colors of white. If it has a different shade, then it's still a flashbang. Damn, the music is really mellow now. I'm loving it. Hey, just chilling. Oh. Like my lack of sleep is definitely catching up to me. Like my brain is not really working properly, so I don't really feel like going in. But I think I'm done. Actually, yeah, all the features are there. The only thing I might want to, oh yeah, why this doesn't refresh. So callback calls back to listbots menu here, which is this. This calls get user bots, which gets the bots from the database. Yeah, it's never bypassed. And the finale is complete. Yeah, it's completed and checked. I don't want to use the word tested because it's not proper testing. It was just checking around if it actually crashes and if it does what it's supposed to. Testing is something quite different. I want to like condition myself to use testing when it's actually proper testing, not when I just feel like I press the button, oh yeah, I tested it, it works. So, not testing. Press the button, nothing crashed, so you know it doesn't mean like that functionality is tested. Right. So how come this doesn't update? This doesn't make sense. Oh no. It does all this get user bots. So if I go here, when I'm editing killbot, the callback is this bot's menu. It's here. And the first thing it does, gets the bot. Well, the bot list. Well, this is a mess. It's way too, well, it does multiple things. Constructs the menu context, which includes menu items. And menu items are basically the bots. So it comes from the database. So cursor fetch 1, expiration date and name. And somehow these don't get updated. I am baffled by that. I'm actually confused. How does this happen? So if I do this, change name to, let's say, name, capital letters. Okay, and I save it. Name stays old. This is some sort of optimization on... No, it can't be on Discord sign. I'm doing the whole thing. What do I do? Oh, I know what's going. Oh, I remember now. Oh, that is dumb but extra stupid. I even called it out when I was doing. Oh, this might introduce unintended consequences, and now I'm witnessing them. Oh, where was it? The bot menu. When I save, yeah, I do the callback. I generate the menu before I do the actual saving. Test. Save killbot, yeah. So I generate. I call the callback beforehand. So actual saving is done after. So that's why it has all data. So it has to be like this, but at this point men is not defined. So I need to define menu context. Context equal to classes. Because I actually added menu context, I don't need the whole menu to be instantiated, but I was just lazy. I said, oh, if I move around these lines, I don't need to write any code. I did, but it might be, it's odd because I'm doing not the right way, and just, the lesson is don't cut corners, like, it's just dumb with extra stupid sometimes. Let's see, menu context. So menu context, when I create it, where do I actually initialize it? Oh, it comes from the callback. I guess I just do this. Just have a list of errors. Errors? It's none. It's actually none. And error is for field. So none. Error. So errors will be this. Fields will be this. In other case, it's the same thing, but a little bit different. Now I do the actual assignment. Man context errors is equal to errors context equals error fields. I think it's correct. If I'm missing anything. Menu context error fields. It's just copy paste, just to avoid any typos. Good, I did typo this. Okay. Now it should be working correctly. What? 90%. What's the saying? 80% of 50%, 90% of the time. Should work 50%, 90% of the time. Something like I don't remember. There's. Yeah. Let's see. So now in the list, actually do the change of the name. Blah blah blah. Voila. Good enough. Good enough for government work, and it crashed. And reference, I still managed to reference it somewhere. Oh. Right. Still managed to do it wrong. Okay. Again. Test. Did it next one? Oh, it actually changed the name. Oh yeah, because it calls the saving now before. Right. Name. Again. Option doesn't exist. I just entered randomly. I guess I did. Name again. I guess that's where I could use AI from pattern recognition. So it would know what I mean. They do stuff that doesn't make sense. Name again. Okay, so now it's actually updated properly. And guess I can try with this, so check if the expiration date actually updates. Should go to up to 12:30. So number 5. Save. And it's 12:30. Amazing. I'm killbot name saved, so this is added, this is new. It's thing of beauty. And last thing I always keep forgetting to is to do it. Commit this fart. Team commit. Take a look at the changes. Let's not include translations this time. That bit me in the ass last time. They didn't know what needs to be. Makes sense. Singleton, yeah. I fixed something in Singleton. Oh yeah, I removed a bunch of stuff. I don't think I changed anything else. What menu? It all makes sense. Helper. Classes? Did I change class different? Oh, I changed the type. Something here. I removed the white space at the end. Okay, that's a major change. That's really important. And this looks okay. Finished. New killbot functionality. To editing. I never use these comments. Well, because I'm the only one contributing, I don't really bother with proper comments. Just title line, that's enough. Good enough for government work. That's right. So all code is functional, and all the features kind of done. So yeah, I'll be back on Sunday. Hopefully I'll be well rested, get some sleep. I'll be waiting on the updated template. Having a Lithuanian flag, I'm really excited about that. I would like to have right? Something is flickering. Right. Yes. I'm trying to remember if I needed to say something else. I love this. Never used it, but yeah. I didn't get any bad ideas this time. Yeah, well, you know. Yeah, on the updated version, you can see that. I need to no, okay. I don't want to plan ahead too much. This was very enjoyable for some reason, even though the progress was. Okay. See you on Sunday.